Hey YouTubers, it's the hardest working man in the booze business, Platt here, and today I'm going to show you how to make orange bitters. So let's go. As some of y'all out there may know, I bartend for a living out here in Vegas, and I make a ton of cocktails. And a great way to tweak or add flavor to a cocktail is to add bitters. Now, I want to kind of quickly review the term bitters. There's two major types of bitters we use behind the bar. There's digestive bitters, which is almost more like a liqueur in a sense. Think Fernet Branca, Cynar, and even Jägermeister. That's right, Jägermeister is a bitters. It's not just for drunk college students. And then there's cocktail bitters. The best example is Angostura bitters, but also the variety of flavored bitters out there like the ones Feed Brothers makes, what have you. And they go into a lot of your classic cocktails. Think Manhattans, Old Fashions. Today what I want to show you is how to make a cocktail bitters. And we're going to make an orange bitters. Probably one of the simplest bitters to make. And if you know a little bit about your cocktail history, you know orange bitters was actually used in the original martini recipe. Well, now that I've given you the background on bitters, let me show you what we need to make our orange bitters. This is what we need to make our orange bitters. Now, whenever you make bitters, you kind of break down the ingredients into two major components: flavoring agents and bittering agents. Now, us making an orange bitters, obviously we need oranges. We're going to cut about 1/4 pound of orange peels. So depending on the size of the oranges, you may need 1 or 2 oranges. After that, we have cardamom, fennel, and coriander. Now, again, the great thing about bitters is you can get real creative, so the world of spices is open to you. The main bittering agent we're going to use is gentian root. Now, I have ground gentian root, but you'll see in a lot of recipes, and if you go to herbal stores, you'll find gentian root extract. Now, for this recipe, I'm going to be using roughly 1/4 teaspoon, but if you have the extract, roughly about 10 drops or so. Last but not least, we're going to need Everclear. Now, in some of my previous liqueur recipes, however, I've kind of interchanged Everclear with vodka, and just because you may want it higher proof or lower proof. But because we're extracting flavor out, we're going to need high proof spirit. So stick with Everclear or any other high proof spirit. Well, now that we have our supplies together, let's make some bitters. Well, the first thing we're going to do now that we got all our ingredients together is we're going to peel these oranges. Now, if you remember from our limoncello video or a couple other videos I've done, I just use a regular potato peeler. As in all the other videos where I use fruit, first thing you want to do is wash it, and I've washed these fruits, want to get off any wax or stickers. Now, unlike the limoncello video where I warned you not to dig too deep and get any of the pith, here it's alright, because remember that pith is a little bitter, but we're making orange bitter. So if you dig a little deep, that's alright. Now we're going to need roughly 1/4 pound or so of these peels. So let me get to peeling these. When I get 1/4 pound, we'll get on to our next step. Well, I've got done peeling my oranges, and we've got 1/4 pound in here. Now I've thrown in a little jar that we're going to infuse everything in. So now I'm going to add my other ingredients. First, we're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of Fennel Seed. Measure that out. Alright, there we go. Then we're going to switch to 1/4 teaspoons of cardamom. And then 1/4 teaspoon of coriander. Got a little compact there. Alright, there we go. And last but not least, our Gentian root, which is our main bettering component, and we're going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of that also. And like I said, if you don't have the ground, if you have the extract, it's roughly 10 drops of the extract. So we've got all our ingredients in there, and now we're going to need to add our high proof spirit. We're going to add 375 milliliters, or half of a 750 milliliter of Everclear. Like I said, you don't want to use vodka for this. You want to use high proof spirit. I need 75. Alright. And be sure we got enough in there to cover everything, because again, we don't want to leave any partially exposed peels or anything. We want everything. We want the Everclear to cover everything. We're going to give her a good little shake. And we're going to leave this in here for 2 weeks. And in that 2 weeks, that high proof spirit is going to draw out all the flavor from all these different compounds. And within 2 weeks' time, we should have our bitters ready to go. So let's let this sit, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. So it's been 2 weeks now, and our bitters is fully macerated, taking all the flavor out of our ingredients, and we're going to filter. You can use just a generic strainer. I always like to use a little piece of cheesecloth. We've got Fennel Seed. Remember, our Gentian root was ground, so a little bit of cheesecloth. And if you don't have cheesecloth, let me advise you to get cheesecloth. It's just a great tool to have around. You buy a section, you can cut up however many ways you want. I think it's just a great tool to have in the kitchen when you're doing a lot of these little projects. So we're going to filter now. And I'm just filling into another mason jar just because I have a ton of these. And again, the mouths are big. It makes life a little simple. So we'll filter here. And you'll see when you get to the bottom why you need that cheesecloth. There we go. Now, as you can see, we have quite a bit. We probably have almost a pint. This is a quart jar, so we have almost a pint of orange bitters. You're not going to use that much orange bitters. I don't care how many cocktails you make. As a professional bartender, I don't go through that much orange bitters in a long time. So, but the good thing about the bitters is it lasts forever. You used high proof spirit. This is not going bad anytime in your mind lifetime. So put it in whatever jar, but I do advise you to get you an eyedropper or something similar to dispense. This is powerful stuff, strong flavor, and you're not going to want to try to pour it out of this jar and get a real accurate splash or dash or whatever. One of these eyedroppers come in a great tool. Well, let me finish cleaning up around here and we'll wrap up. So just to wrap up, it took us a little over 2 weeks to make our orange bitters. And like I said, it seems like a lot of bitters, but if you want to, you can always cut the recipe down, or I suggest that you just go ahead and make a regular batch, but maybe split it up in smaller containers, and maybe one you infuse with lavender, make it lavender orange bitters, or maybe a little white pepper or white pepper orange bitters, what have you. But you have enough now where if you want to kind of split this off and experiment, you have your base as an orange bitters. Now, there's another technique compared to what we did. What we did was we had all the ingredients together, infused them all together, and we have an orange bitters. Some people like to take the ingredients separately. Your fennel seed, coriander, orange peels, lemon peels, whatever. Just a wide variety of flavors, and infuse those separately, and then go back and kind of mix and mingle with the infusion they have. And that's a cool little method too, if you like. And it gives you the ability to really get creative and tweak things. And along with the syrups videos I showed you earlier, how we made different syrups, and again how you could tweak those, this really gives you a base to get really creative in the world of cocktails. You know, if you have an idea for a cocktail and you want to tweak it with, you know, in your mind you think, well, I want to do an orange bitters. Well, you can do an orange bitters, but like I said, you can make a lavender orange bitters, a white pepper orange bitters. Again, with the syrups, they're the same way. So it kind of gives you almost like a flavor laboratory to tweak with. And that's why I like doing these bitters. Now, I haven't done a lot of cocktail videos on this YouTube channel, and I don't know if I will because I don't do cocktail competitions much anymore. But in the future, we might do something where we take this bitters and take some of the syrups we make and make some kind of cocktail. Who knows? Maybe we'll become famous. Maybe I'll become famous. Who knows? But anyway, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you learned something. And if you did, please subscribe down below, and also please like and share these videos. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and you can always contact me through the Twitter page. Well, until next time, bottoms up.